Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I am Hunter Foreman, and I'm bringing you once again another brand new album review. And today I'm going to be reviewing the highly anticipated, long-awaited ninth studio album of Eminem-Revival. At first, I was very, very excited to hear that Eminem was coming out with a new album because I think everybody deep down is somewhat of an Eminem fan. I'm not like the biggest Eminem fan. It's nothing against him and his music. It's just that I don't necessarily gravitate towards that that kind of demographic. But I do respect and hold him very high in the hip hop game. I think he's on my hip hop Mount Rushmore. He's a pioneer. He's a legend, and he will go down as one of the greatest lyricists ever, and one of the greatest artists of the past 20, 30 years. He's amazing. When I had heard that he was coming out with an album, I started to kind of take the pieces of the puzzle and make what kind of material is going to be on this album. With the campaign freestyle, with the the BET I guess cipher, the BET cipher, where he kind of goes in on Donald Trump. And I was just kind of thinking, like, okay, Eminem is going to take whatever subject has happened over the past 3-4 years he hasn't released an album, and just bar it to death, because that's exactly what he did. He on No Favors, he had what I think is one of the best verses of the year, off of the Big Sean album that came out in January. When he hopped on No Favors and just obliterated that beat, I was like, oh, Slim Shady is definitely gonna make a return, and this one was like, oh, I mean, he just barred Ann Coulter, Jamie Lee Curtis. I think Lindsay Lohan was also mentioned in that. Like, he just destroyed that beat, and it's one of the best verses of the year. So I was automatically thinking, oh, we're just gonna get straight bars. I don't expect a lot of songs to be on this album. I expect probably maybe 14, maybe 13 songs of just straight bars and him just raps. That's all I wanted, was just some raps from Eminem, because Eminem's pen game is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's like nothing I've ever seen before, and I was very, very excited when I heard that he was coming out with another album. Now let's get to the actual album. I was somewhat disappointed in this album. I loved what he talked about. I loved the lyrics content. I didn't like the production at all. There was a couple of highlights. There's a couple of highlights on this. River featuring Ed Sheeran is going to be a pop smash right off the bat. Remind Me was basically a hip hop remake of I Love Rock and Roll, and I didn't know how to feel. I mean, I was just like, and first, it's 19 songs, about a little close to hour and 20 minutes of music, and I just feel like there's a lot of filler on here. I feel like he could have trimmed this album down quite a bit. I mean, Walk on Water was the first single that came out featuring Beyonce, and I felt like there was something missing. I was like, this can't be this can't be on the album. I feel like this is he just wanted to put this out like as just a collaboration, as a promotional single, not a promotional single is something that's it's just to create a buzz, like, hey, I'm fixing to drop something. It's not this is probably not going to be on the album. So when he dropped Walk on Water, I was like, okay, this isn't going to be on the album. I hope not. I mean, I hope this isn't something that, this isn't the direction that he's going with. And then he releases Untouchable, and I'm just like, what is the direction here? I'm so confused on what you're trying to accomplish here, Eminem. Like, what are you going for? I mean, to go through some of the highlights. Offended, great song. That's exact. It's funny how it took me 15 songs to get to what I wanted, and that's bars. And Offended gave me that. It gave me that disrespectful, very I don't give a fuck kind of, feel like I'm just gonna bar you to death. I want you to hear these bars, and you're gonna take these bars, and because I'm Eminem and I'm one of the greatest, and that's what I got. I just wish that vibe was spread it out the whole way through the album. Untouchable was not good to me at all. The whole black man kind of thing. Like Joe Budden said on Everyday Struggle, I'm not here for woke Eminem. I want rapper Eminem. Let me paint a clearer picture of what I wanted. There's a battle rapper by the name of Loaded Lux. And he comes in many forms. Maybe you can call these gimmicks. Maybe you can just call them his style. There is Preacher Lux, who dresses, maybe like a Black Panther in his battle against Hollow to Dawn, or like a pastor against Calico. And then there's Gray Hoodie Lux. Gray Hoodie Lux is the guy who just he wears just a gray hood up, and just bars you to death. I wanted a Gray Hoodie Lux version of Eminem. I don't want the gimmicks. I didn't want to laugh. I didn't want to have fun. I just wanted Eminem to slaughter something. And it's crazy how it took me 15 songs into this album just to get to that. One of the lowlights, which I think was one of the worst songs that Eminem has ever created besides Untouchable, was Chloroseptic. I think this was his attempt to keep up with the trend now. Now, everybody knows what the Migos flow is. That cool little double time. You know what I'm saying? And I heard Eminem try to rap like that, and I'm like, I've never once seen Eminem try to keep up with the times. I feel like Eminem's always been in his own lane and has always made his style of music. And I felt like Chloroseptic was just like, I want to make a song, for the new generation. And Fresher didn't help. I also heard that 2 Chainz was supposed to be on the song, and I would love to hear what that sounds like, because I feel like 2 Chainz, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I felt like 2 Chainz would have had a better verse, would have had the best verse on that whole entire song, and that's coming from an Eminem song. That's really hard to say as a hip-hop fan of me. It's really hard to hear this, because there's just a bunch of, like, sentimental pop, like, we all remember "See You Again" by Wiz Khalifa, right? That was his biggest. That's his biggest song ever. Like 1 billion hits on YouTube, like quadruple platinum. Was the main thing was the main song of Fast and Furious. I felt like this was an album full of like action movie songs, like songs that could be on an action movie soundtrack. Like I wouldn't be surprised if I hear Like Home, maybe Untouchable, or Believe. Believe I was like, okay, this is nice. This is new Eminem. I'm like, okay, this is where I kind of gave it a chance. Believe was him asking a question: do his fans still believe in him? Do you still care about me? And I think the lyrical content of that was fantastic. I don't agree with the production done on this. Untouchable was just weirdly it was like it was like a horrible version of Berserk, and I was hoping he could kind of take those elements that he brought to the table on Marshall Mathers LP2, which was his last album, which was released, I think, in 2015, 2016. And him just push those forward and just kind of, maybe add some new ideas to them. But I didn't get that. For some reason, M went completely left. He went completely pop. Let's be honest. Nowhere Fast featuring Kehlani. Kehlani, congratulations. You are on a Eminem album. That is a great look for you. But song-wise, to me personally, no. No, this is not what I wanted. I couldn't even get through the Need Me Pink. I mean, I had to go back. I went back and actually listened to it to see if I can find any substance, but it was just another pop Eminem is not working for me. Pop Eminem is not working for me. I don't know what he did new with this. Also, there was the way he recorded in the studio and the way he sounded on the mic sounded very weird. Like he was rhyming like maybe far away or very lo-fi. Like the quality of the audio was very lo-fi. It wasn't very high quality. He sounded really different. Maybe if he's in a different mental space and this is the album that he wanted to put out, by all means. But as a person who really loves hip hop, this is a pop album to me. This is strictly a pop album to me. This doesn't suit me. He does address a lot of his personal issues in this album, though. I will give him that, and he addressed them very well. In Bad Husband, apologizing to Kim. That's as a man, that's something that I respect. Whether I like the song or not, that's something I can definitely respect. I respect a person who says, "Hey, I messed up. I could have done things completely differently, and I know I messed up, and this is how. I don't know how to tell you I messed up, so this is the best way possible." And input it in a song, and I think Bad Husband's a good song. Ex Ambassadors is great. There's a couple of pop, I know that I said this is a pop album, but some of the stuff that he kind of did with when he went in the pop direction on this album was very good. Like Bad Husband, I think that's also a good song. Remind Me, the Joan Jett sample, I Love Rock and Roll. Were you trying to do the same thing that you did with Berserk? I can't think of the samples right now as I'm saying this right now, which sucks. I loved Berserk. Berserk was amazing. Shout out to Rick Rubin, who produced that song off the Marshall Mathers LP2. Like, that was beautifully done. There's like no hip hop features. I mean, Fresher is a rap artist from, I believe, Brooklyn. I believe from Brooklyn. He's from New York. And I just wanted like a Royce da 5'9" verse, or even a Dre verse, or even what would have been dope and would have really like driven me to actually like this album is him taking advantage of how the underground buzz of Prime and giving them sort of a platform to be like, listen, y'all are going to be on a number one album. I know this album's going number one. This album's going to go number one regardless whether I like it or not. But I think he just went a different direction with this. And the direction that he took, I don't like. To be completely honest with you guys, I did not enjoy this album. I only truly liked one song, and that's Offended, because it's just bars. And that's exactly what I wanted to hear from him. But everything else is just like watered down pop. And no disrespect to anybody in the pop industry, because let's not get it twisted. I love some pop joints myself. I mean, right off the top of my head, I loved the Maroon 5 album with, you know, with the features that had SZA, ASAP Rocky, Kendrick Lamar, Future. That song Cold with Future is amazing. Yeah, do not get it twisted. One of my favorite songs is Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. You know, that was something that, you know, those I loved Ed Sheeran's the Shape of You record was Ed Sheeran's amazing. Let's get that out of the way. The features, like the people who he chose to actually be on this album are very talented. Beyonce, Kehlani, Ed Sheeran, X Ambassador, Skylar Grey. Besides Fresher, I mean, I'm not that big. Pink, him and Pink make good music together, and they have sold many records, you know. But for me to be, if you were to ask me, did you enjoy this album? The answer to that question is no. The answer to this question is no. I did not enjoy this album. What I did was the subjects that he talked about and the way he handled them. I love the lyrical content. I love what he spoke about. I love the way he ended the album, actually. Castle in a Rose, beautifully. Those were two songs dedicated to his daughter, and I thought that was a beautiful way to end it. He also, I'm gonna actually, right now as I look up, he also sampled I Love Rock and Roll on Remind Me, and he also sampled the Cranberries, In Your Head, which I was very interested when I heard that song, and then I heard the beat and I was like, this is it. No, I just didn't enjoy this album like everybody else did. I mean, if you are a hardcore diehard Eminem fan, you could enjoy this way more than I did. But as a hip hop fan, truly, a guy who would rather listen to a Wu-Tang, who gets excited for a new Wu-Tang album, a new EPMD album. Also, I want to send my condolences to MF Doom. I heard he was working on some new music. He just lost his 14-year-old son today. As this is recorded on a Tuesday. He just lost his son today. My condolences with MF Doom and his family. A person who loves that boom bap shit, like that DJ Premier shit, that Gangstar shit, that A Tribe Called Quest, that, you know, just a dude who really loves hip hop, and a person who really, really liked the Eminem Show, which is one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. Marshall Mathers LP2 was fantastic. Marshall Mathers LP1 was even better. Encore. I even liked Relapse. Recovery was okay to me. But I genuinely enjoyed Eminem's music, and this is just a bad look for him, for me, in my eyes. I think whatever I should have known this album was gonna be looked in the eyes of the critics, you know, as not really favorable when the first single didn't do as well. You know, the first single, I don't know, it didn't get the big media push that we thought it would get. Since it's Eminem and Beyonce, two of the biggest artists in the world, you would think that this would shoot right up to number one. No. I'm gonna give this a light 6. Shout out to Anthony Fantano, but if I had to like give it a concrete one, 5.5 out of 10. I just couldn't get in. There would be times where I'd be like, all right, next song, every song I'd be like, all right, this song was okay. Maybe next song's gonna be great. What he talked about in this album, fantastic. The production is what dragged this whole thing completely down to the floor. What are you doing? If this is your last album, this was not a good way to end your legacy. Like, this was not... I mean, I'm still going to go back and listen to Marshall Mathers LP too, but... And that was... If you could have ended it on that, and that album was great. That had Monster, that had Love Game by Kendrick Lamar, which is the most slept-on song on that album. And I hope this isn't your last album. I want like a 10-song album of just you just spitting bars, or just in like a, or just like a you want to do it tape style, cassette style, and we just fast forward through like maybe 20-30 minutes of music, and it's just all bars, throw away. Like 30 minutes of bars, maybe. 5.5 out of 10, man. I'm really disappointed in this Eminem album. I had high expectations for it. I really did. That's why I'm being so harsh, because because it's Eminem. It's one of the GOATs. It's one of the best rappers to ever put pencil to pad. Pencil to paper, if you would say. And I'm just... I don't know, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? If something's different up there now, I would like to know what it was, because there is a huge void of that boom bap hip hop that I know you love, and it just wasn't there. There's nothing there's nothing more else I could say. 5.5 out of 10. This me reviewing the 9th studio album of Eminem, known as Revival. This is hard to see. One of the GOATs kind of put this out. Something special is going to be coming to the channel. I want you to pay attention to all my social media. I'm only going to say this once. I'm only doing it once. So, be on the lookout for that. 972 Till Infinity coming soon. Anything else? It's hard. It's just hard to see a legend. If this is his last album, it's hard to see him go out like this. I'm rambling on too much. One love.